because we gotta do that. Yeah, I tell you. Hello everyone, welcome to Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque Painting Live on February 26th at 7:01 p.m. My internet is being slow right now, so just give me a minute to get these pages up so I can see what I'm saying. It's not really cooperating here tonight. So I did move the camera up, so hopefully you guys can see better. Can you hear me? This thing keeps going back to showing most relevant instead of the newest. I've changed it like 6 times here already tonight. So can you guys hear me? I guess we got to start with that because that's just the way it's going. So can you guys hear me? It's February 26th, February 26th. Glad to hear surgery went well, Kim, and I hope you heal fast and everything goes good. All right, so I do have our bunnies in the screen here that we are working on. It is the February box. And I don't want to go too far with them. Then here is our, thank you guys for letting me know you can hear me. This is our March box. And I am actually going to just put it on, I'm going to put it on my blue wreath. So I'm going to take the winter one off and just put it on the blue wreath that I had. So that's why I did use silver and kind of ultramarine and baby blue on here. And then you guys asked for different colored bunnies. So we have white, we have dark gray, medium gray, and light gray. And then we have a medium brown and a light brown. So that is our box for March that you are invoiced for right now. And that will be shipping next week. So that is our March piece. Again, it's a wreath accent. It can go on a wreath. You can use a straw wreath, which would work fine, I think, for, I got some glaze on here. I was glazing at the shop. Straw wreath would work fine for the spring ones if you wanted that. I'm just going to put mine on my blue deco wreath that I made, and then I'll get a picture made of that, but it's kind of been a busy day. So that is our March box. So let's get that out of the way without breaking it. Kind of bring our bunnies back. All right, so then this is the piece we were working on last week. And I believe it looks like we started dry brushing. So I need to put a pen here so I can mark that because I seem to forget to do that. So we are going to dry brush ash. We need more ash on here. So we have our ash, OS 567. OS 567, and I just put it on some foil. You can use a tile, paper plate, whatever works for you. I don't like scraping a tile, so I put it on foil and I wrinkle up the foil and throw it out. All right, get these out of the way here. And then I use a piece of paper towel, fold it in half, and I brush my brushes out on that. And then we're just going to use a boar bristle brush, the Royal Majestic, or Royal and Langnickel Majestic brand. These are on the website too. This is a size, probably a size 5 round. And so I just go and get a little bit, and so this is a boar bristle brush. It's a natural bristle brush for dry brushing. So I just go and get a little bit of my ash, brush it out on my paper towel, kind of work it into those bristles. And then when I have it out, that I come to my piece And I usually come to the back, and we're pretty close to where we need to be, but I can see we need a little bit here and there. So we will get another, so that's pretty wet. You want to brush your brush out. You really don't want it that wet. It should be going on fairly dry looking. I did get last week's downloaded, but I didn't have time to get them uploaded to YouTube yet, but it is still on Facebook for 30 days, so you still have access to it. It was kind of a busy week because after class I had shop, and then I had the live sale to get ready for, and then I had to do some stuff with my truck, so it's just been busy. All right, so I'm just gonna put like one more layer on here just to get him a little bit less charcoal down in those crevices. And this is usually the point where you don't want to get too much on it, because we kind of get into a rush and want to get it done, and so you just want to keep going with those light brushing of it, going across all your crevices instead of with them, so that it doesn't fill them in. Sometimes you can't help but go with them depending upon where they're at, like right here, like that's kind of hard to go that way because then you're going with those, and if you go across it or with it, then you're going against the other one, so it's just a little bit hard to do, but you just do the best you can to go against all of the crevices as much as you can. So we've had pretty cool weather here, but tomorrow, like I think it's like single digits out right now, but like tomorrow we're supposed to get up to like in the 40s, so kind of crazy weather going around. And then we're just going to work our way right around. I did have some online purchases, so that are non-subscribers, so I did have to be at the shop today, and those were packed yesterday. And then I had to wait for UPS to pick them up because it was too many for me to take to the local shop. UPS drop off, they don't like that. So I did get a couple of things onto the website, and I did post that reel of what they were. It was mostly the Doc Holliday bigger pieces that hold signs. I do have the cow and the dog, but I'm out of them right now. But I did put the horse on. Oh, that's a little heavy right there. See, I'm talking too much. I put the horse on, the moose on, the cat. There was 4 of them. I think maybe a bear. And then there were 2 clay magic pieces also, a whittled bear and a moose. And we're limited, so those if they sold already, they'll be out until I can get to the shipping containers in the spring. But I was trying to make room for our shipping stuff, so I don't have to pack it away in boxes. I can have it on the shelves and pull it, so it makes it easier for shipping day, because they can't be on the shop table because I have shop hours, and it just makes it a lot of extra work when I have to put it all away and drag it all back out. So I'm going to try to clean off a couple shelves on the porch. So you'll probably see some more wildlife posted. All right, so we're just going across. I did post 2 lighthouses. Someone requested a lighthouse. And they've been on the shelf for a couple years in Biss, so I just went ahead and posted them. So I'll keep working away at that and build our inventory up for that too. So I think we did the back of that already. And we did the back of that ear already. So let's get back on the front here. Get this ear. I will try to get the Mako colors on there too. kind of as a bulk, like we had the sets of 12 mixed colors, so we'll want to get those off the shelf so I can get the Duncan colors where those were, because they're on the wall and my shelves on the wall are not much of a builder, but they've worked, and it'll be nice to have them on the shelf and not to worry about knocking them boards over. Okay, so we're just getting our bunny with more of our chart ash on it. We already did the gray when we base coated it, and now we're just coming with our ash. We probably end up with only 10% of our base coat color, 20 to 10%. It all depends how dark you want your piece when you're doing them. I tend to like to go with the 10% of my base color left in the crevices, and then that first layer is my 90%, 85 to 90%. Because that base color really is just shading and shadows to give your piece more dimension. Oh, too wet. We gotta brush that out. I do have a Fashion Hues order in, so we'll be restocking the Fashion Hues, and I did order 12 bottles of that new color. I don't know if they're gone already, if we'll get some or not, so we'll have to see. I kind of forgot I needed to update something on the order, and so it's been sitting a week, but it's my fault for missing something, forgetting about it, being too busy. But I will be restocking those. I did order a couple of the 8-ounce, or the 8-ounce or 6-ounce. I did order a couple bottles of the larger base coating colors, so I know a couple of you asked for that. I do have a brush order in. We'll be restocking the brushes. So a lot going on. So you kind of got to turn this guy so you can get to all the different little spots that need getting to, especially with the ears here and the top of the head. I did have to pull clay today. Well, yesterday I pulled it and I just made slip before we went live. And so I did pour I did grab April's molds. So April will be Donna trowels, like the garden trowels, and they will be made into wind chimes, and you guys will get the little wind chime 8-ounce. Thank you, Sherry. You guys will get the wind chimer part of it as your extra in your box. So I will probably be pouring the first set of those tomorrow. Looks like he needs a little bit more there. So it's good to look at your piece from different angles, because then you just see where maybe there's not enough of something. You know, I just want to come back and look over it again, because I think we got him pretty much everywheres, so that he looks even and not spotty. So I kind of got a spot right here where it's kind of heavy, so we'll try to even that out. Is a new fashion color in addition to the existing line, or a new? So for my understanding, it's a the color is called Lagoon, and they must have made a batch, and when that batch is gone, that's all there is. Can you confirm that, Sherry? That's my understanding of it. I don't really think it's been added to the line. It's just a one-time run of a color. Hopefully it's popular, because it looks really pretty, and then maybe they'll keep making it. I don't know, but from what I read, it's just a one-time mix, and when it's gone, it's gone. So, but I may be wrong. All right, so that looks pretty good. So then our next color is our gray. And I did order 12 bottles. Like, I don't know if I'll get any. I'm probably a little late to the show on that. I wasn't going to get it, and then I thought, as long as I have the order in, I might as well get it. So we'll see. Gray OS 474, Gray OS 474, and of course a bottle of that stuff goes a long way. So it would still last you hopefully quite a while. So now if you don't want your bunnies, if you like the color gray that they are, you can just highlight a little bit with the gray, but I actually put quite a bit of gray on mine. I like them a lot lighter so you can see the difference here. Okay. But if you like them darker like this, then just use the gray as more of a highlight. The letter X is different than the other lines. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look at all that. I think it's on their website where I seen it, that it's just it's a one-time batch, and when it's gone, it's gone. And that may be why the X is on it. I don't know I don't know how that works with them. So, and I probably won't have time to like dig into it because there's just gotta get the box out now, and then we have the live sale pieces to get shipped from last Sunday. So I have a lot of work, All right, so we're just doing our gray color now, and I like to brush really lightly with the light colors because they go on pretty strong. So I'd rather brush lightly with them and get less on and do more layers of it. And then again, I did start on the back. I like to start on the back so that if I gob it up, the back is what's gobbed up. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I still have not heard anything on our Clay Magic mold. So I mean, I would have thought they'd have been here by now, and I don't know. So a little disappointed in that. I don't know if our order went in late from Marcella's or what the holdup is, or if they're backed up. Not sure. So I'm going to, I just seen where somebody's out of something. Oh, what the heck is it? I just seen a post today, somebody that manufactures stuff for ceramics, they're out of something and the stuff's on backed up. So it wasn't plaster. Plaster I think was last year. I'm not sure what it was, but somebody's out of some supply for making stuff. I don't think it must have not affected us because I don't remember exactly what it was. I'll probably think of it later. Right, so I just start from the back and I'm working my way around, going across all these little crevices again. Even if it gets on his pants, that's okay because we will be working on the pants later. So I was just gonna say, like a lot of the stuff that was in the live sale, except for maybe 6 things, were all on the website. So if you guys like want bisque, all you have to do is shop the website and use store pickup. And I know because you're a subscriber, it gets shipped. So very few of the items in the live sale were not on the website. So feel free to shop the website because that way you're not waiting for the sale and then the stuff sells out in the sale and you didn't get it. But like I said, like probably 85 to 90% of the stuff was on the website. I'm gonna see if our well, if the phone's going with the chat here or not. Yeah, we just looks like we got the right thing yet. There was no comment, so I'm just wondering if it was moving or stuck. So we're going to keep brushing back and forth. I did get the Advent tree on there. I got the Yum Yum tree on there. That was earlier this week. I got one set of the first ducks that I poured on are on there that was in the first live sale with those. That stuff just takes a lot of. Oh, hope you are all well. Oh, hi, Linda. Yep, we're hanging in there. Hope you are too. Waiting for spring. Get through March and we'll be on our way. I did update the Donna's short-handled brushes. Those are on there. So there's a lot of stuff on the website. The easiest way is to go by the microscope searching on the top right. Like you can type in the word brushes, you can type in the word trees, and stuff will come up. That way you don't have to go, or you can search by categories, which I did a little video yesterday on how to go on the website because someone was really having problems with it, and I'm not sure what the problem was, but other people had checked out yesterday, so I know that it was working. But I mean, there are occasions where it's not working. So you can search by categories. If you want to know what's the newest, I usually change that every 2 months. Take off what's been on there for a month, and then like now there's a bunch of new stuff on there, so that'll probably be on there for 2 months, and then I'll take off last month's stuff just to keep it so that you're not looking through so many things. But then all of those items are still on there. They're just in their categories, whether it's Christmas tree and the mold maker, clay magic, whatever it may be. But if you use a word like tree or advent or brushes, it will bring up those items, and you may have items that you're not really looking for, but it may bring up, say you put in brushes, it'll bring up all kinds of brushes, so there could be different brushes and not necessarily what you're looking for, but you should be able to find what you're looking for with a general search word or by the category too. The biggest thing is you have to put how you want it, and you can't mix the box up with shipping and pickup because then it's not going to let you check out. They all have to be shipping or they all have to be pickup. That's one of the things, which makes sense because how would it know that you want one thing shipped? It wouldn't know how to tell me, I guess. I don't think they have it that programmed that smart to ship this item and pick this other item up. So they all have to be shipped or they all have to be picked up. And for you guys, like the pickup is just a workaround so that you get your free shipping because you're a subscriber, which is a huge value. Shipping has really gotten expensive. And there's a couple areas I can tell you that those bigger boxes, when they go to a couple areas, they can be $60 to $90 a box. And so like a lot of money is going to shipping on a box. Like there's got to be a lot of stuff in it to actually make any money on it, just because of how much shipping is. And then I think one of our other problems, we've had a few broken things like over the past year, and they have that UPS ground saver, and that is where UPS picks up the packages at my house, and then they take them to UPS, but then they're sorted and they are taken to the post office, the regular post office, USPS, and then they're delivered to the town, to the UPS in the town where they're going. And so there's extra handling going on there, and those seem to be the ones that have gotten broken, and so I will not be using UPS ground saver. It saves a little bit of money, but if I have to pay for reshipping and replace the item, like those few dollars are not worth that couple dollars worth of savings in the end. And so hopefully that will end our problem with a few broken pieces that we've had, because we've had a few that really they should have never broke the way that I packed that stuff. Like they just really shouldn't have. And some of the boxes look like stuff should have broken, but they're just getting too rough. It's just too rough, too much handling. So if it's UPS, it'll only be UPS and not the USPS in on it for the ground saver. So a good example of that is I shipped an eye chart out last week, the eye chart with the brush, and so that shipping was $10 on that, and then the brush is $9.99, and the lady that got it, she's not a subscriber. She actually got her brush came broken in half, and she had a shirt in her box, in her envelope, which I did not send a shirt. So I asked her to send a picture, and my label had been cut off the brown envelope and put onto a white envelope, which is probably where the shirt came in. I'm guessing 2 packages got busted open, and they took mine and stuck it in, cut my label off and put it over the top of hers. And so she got a broken brush for $9.99, and it cost me $10 to ship it. And then she got a shirt that wasn't hers. She did get the eye chart, fortunately, but then I had to replace a $9.99 brush, plus I had to spend another $9 to reship the package, so that costed me $19 extra. So that, like, I made that was a red. And so the difference between the Ground Saver and the UPS, and UPS versus the UPS Ground Saver was $3. So it would have been better off for me to pay the $3 to not use the Ground Saver than have to replace the brush and the shipping for $19. So that's why, like, you have to look, when you're in a business, you have to look at what stuff is costing you, especially with shipping like that. So I know you guys probably think, man, she puts a lot of paper in here, a lot of bubble wrap in here, but that helps prevent me from having to replace a broken piece, plus pay the shipping on the new piece. So that's a lot of extra money that the bubble wrap and paper are cheap compared to shipping and replacing a $50 piece. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys when you get stuff and there's a lot of bubble wrap wrapped around it and there's a lot of paper, because it's cheaper to wrap it really good, pack it really good, and not have it broken, instead of having to replace the piece and replace the shipping. So but we're going to take the UPS Ground Saver out of the picture, and hopefully that will resolve it. Is there no insurance on the Ground Saver? There's insurance on it, but it's a hassle. It's a hassle. It's hardly worth it. But I do it, but so that's extra work and time as well. So, and you have to prove that you packed those pieces good, and then a lot of times people have thrown out their boxes and their packing paper, or they have to get them out of the recycling. Like, it's just a big deal. So if we can just not use Ground Saver and maybe avoid all of that extra work, that's how I'm looking at it, because sitting at the computer and messaging people for pictures, back and forth, downloading the pictures, filling out the forms, it's just a lot of extra work that I don't need. And so we're gonna, I mean, the Ground Saver definitely saves money, but in the end, it's not saving me money by breaking our pieces. And when we've had, so last month we had I had 2 pieces broken. They were $75 total. They were sale pieces. And then I had the brush, the $9.99 brush broken. And then there was something else broken too. So that's 3 claims to take time for. And then you got questions about it, like nobody wants to pay it because you got two different people handling the packages. And I just think it's best if we not use the Ground Saver, because I think in the end it's just not saving time or money, even though there is insurance on it. Some things are more valuable. So, and right now my time is really valuable because I'm the only one here. So you may not see, you're likely not going to see the Ground Saver stuff unless I forget and don't catch it when it shows up as the option, but I'm gonna definitely try to. All right, so we're getting our bunny with his first coat of his gray all over him. And I think we got to get on the back here yet, so it's a little heavy right there. We're going to get a little bit more up there. So if this, like if you like him light like this, you can quit at this point. I did go quite a bit lighter yet. I didn't want them white, but I got them pretty light. I wanted them like Easter happy pastel-y. So that's why mine are probably lighter. So you guys can do whatever colors you want, of course, anytime with your pieces. Like, don't feel like you're obligated to my colors. Gonna brush that out. That's a little heavy. This is a really good piece to start with because it's got lots of texture for dry brushing. I mean, the pants are smooth, but they're not bad. I'm actually thinking Clay Magic should be coming out with new molds release anytime here. So UPS stuck a label to this package they broke and just said, sorry, your package arrived damaged. No, yeah, it's terrible. And that just seems to be the biggest. I mean, I do ship, there's like 15 packages that go UPS too, and I haven't had any problems with those. It's the ones that are the UPS or the USPS, that's the regular post office. We have like 15 boxes that go that way, and I've never had problems with those. It's the ones that go UPS Ground Saver that go UPS and USPS. Like I think there's just too much handoff, too much shuffling them around. So we're gonna take the Ground Savers out of the picture and probably just not use that for the couple dollars that it saves. All right, so we're all the way around once. I do want him a little bit lighter, but if you like him at this point, you could just highlight your nose and your ears more. But I'm gonna go one more time around because I do like them pretty nice and light. And we're gonna do it in nice light layer too. I mean, I've even had a package where I had ordered a mold and asked the lady if she knew how to pack it. Yep, she knew how to pack it because it was the Doc Holliday Icy Lighthouse and the church and the water wheel. And they came broken, which I didn't even care about the money. The thing was that those molds are really hard to find, and it was the first time I found them in years. And so I actually had to take the packing into the post office and show it to her. And then they still denied the claim. But the lady really didn't pack the stuff very well. Like she did not know what she was doing when she packed them. So I get why they didn't refund her, but they can make you bring your packing in even. So overnight is now 7 days. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, it's all taking longer and longer time. I think they're letting people go. A lot of people go. I mean, you hear that all the time that they're cutting back. So I don't know. It's just the way of the world today. Nobody wants to work. All right, so you can see from this arm to the heads, like it's like one shade lighter. So that's what we're going for. And everything is so expensive. I just looked at one of the molds that we have at the shop that we're going to use for the 4-H, and it was molds that we had used in one of our boxes the first year, and the pieces then, so that's 7 years ago, they were valued at $8. I looked at the price of the molds now, which I just did this yesterday to get a price for the 4-H, because I know they went up a little bit, but like the mold went where the piece would now be, instead of $8, it would need to be $19. That's like more than double what it was 7 years ago, using the same equation that I used to get it then. So stuff is just really going up, just everything. So I think they must have upped their prices again, because I had checked that price a while ago, maybe 2 years ago, and it had gone up to $12. And I had made the change because you just have to, because everything is just getting more expensive, from the clay to the molds to everything. And so, but $19, nobody's going to pay that kind of money for that size piece. Like, it's just crazy. You would have gotten 2.5 pieces for that amount of money, and now it's that $19 for one piece. So and we all see it when we go to the grocery store or put in gas, whatever. It's everywhere. It's not just in the ceramic world. And I'm sure like they're to make the molds, the plaster's gone up and whatever else they have in it and the shipping and everything. So like we can't blame the mold makers either. Like they have to make a living too. So, but it's really crazy how prices are just going crazy high. So I'm glad I'm 64 and not like 40, because I can't imagine like in 20 years what the prices are going to be. So we're just getting our guy out here with another layer. Like again, you can probably see from one face to the other face. That's how much light. Oh, I just gobbed everything up. Look at that, you guys. Well, let's use some spit and see if we can get it off. That miracle spit. Unicorn spit. Oh, not too bad. Let that dry. So and we're just using gray. I kind of got him upside down so I can get the top of his head and his ears here. So don't be afraid to like whip your pieces around into different directions and angles so you can get all of the areas. I did zoom the camera out a little more, so hopefully you guys can see better today. Well, I didn't zoom it out. I made the stand go up higher. I went behind the table and moved it up higher. Now we're getting this other ear. I think we got to get his little cheek there and that little arm. I did see a few postings of things done this week and they're looking great. It's always nice to see your guys' stuff and see that you had success. Did anybody go to any of the ceramic shows that were going on here the last, like in the last month? I think there was, what, Florida and Georgia maybe? So I'm going to flip him back around, come back over here and get this ear. I'm patiently waiting for the August one so I can get the booby tree and the, what are we getting? We're getting the booby tree and what was the other one? Oh my goodness. Oh, the barrel tree, the big barrel tree. And now I do believe he also has the draped tree going too. I see it's on his page, but it is sold out, so I'm hoping he did tell me that he thought he'd have it for the August show, so I have to touch base with him in May for my order. Oh, and then we're getting that toy soldier too. That's quite big. I really like that. I like toy soldiers and nutcrackers. All right, so we got to get back in there and even that out a little bit. I'm guessing Clay Magic should be coming out with a mold release here any day too. It's always fun to see what they come up with. We're waiting for our Easter pieces, those new Easter molds, the crosses, the 2 crosses, and the bunny tree topper and the bunny table topper. There's 3 bunnies. I have all of them ordered. I have your July box ordered, which is a butterfly to mosaic. We'll be mosaicing that. That will be our last box in July, will be mosaics. I will be having probably the last open enrollment for the box in mid-March. I do have some people on the wait list, but I'm just going to do it as an open enrollment. So if you know someone that's waiting or wants to do the box, they'll be their last time to join. So I'll be posting it on the main Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque page on Facebook. And I think there'll be like 10 to 12 openings. I'm going to let 10 to 12 people come in. But then again, and that will start then, they'll start with the April box. It'll be in the middle of March when I post it. And they'll be able to go right to brendasbrushstrokesandbisque.com and click on the subscription. It's a red and black thing. And then they will pay for it and sign up from there. And then I will send them the email message and invite them to the group and all that. But it will be the last open enrollment, and then there won't be a waiting list. Whoever drops off, like that's it. Like, we'll be done. So my daughter went to the brushes, got new brushes from Sherry Porter. Oh, that's good. I always enjoy talking to Sherry at the show here in Waukesha too. So usually find something that she has that we need to get. I think last year we got the Noel molds through Sherry. Some Noel molds, some Christmas tree molds. So I'm just coming back and getting his little face here because it looks like it needs a little more gray on it. The shows do seem to be growing, I think, so that's really good. I know that at least the Waukesha one is, because it had kind of dwindled down a bit, and it's kind of back up there. All right, so we're over, I think we're about this far. We got to come around the corner here yet. Did you take any classes at the shows? Anybody take any classes? That's always fun to do. I usually don't have enough time because I'm usually going to Marcella's to pick up molds too. And it's quite a road trip for the day, so we usually just go to the show till noon and then head out and go to Marcella's and then head back home. Marcella's used to come to the show, but they haven't been there in a few years, so we gotta get a little more on his little face there. That looks a little dark. So we're just gonna work our way around. I'm using the size 5 Chungking. If you type in Chungking on my page, on my website, like these brushes will come up. You can buy them separately or you can buy them in the set of 3. And he just shipped my order yesterday, so they should be here by Saturday so I can update the inventory. So if they're out, like they'll be in a couple days. So we got to get the little ear here. Yeah, this is a size 5, round. And they are the long bristle ones because I think they last a little bit. Try to get a little extra wear out of them, so that's kind of why I always get the long ones. And it seems like they have a little more spring to them too. I'm kind of waiting to see what they do with the tariffs, because that's why we can't get the Brenda's Brushstrokes brushes. But maybe if now that Trump, they're making him he's only doing a 10 or 15% tariff, maybe we'll be able to get the brushes made here yet. You never know. So I'm going to give that a little bit of time to settle down before I message Silver Falcon about those. But I do have the Donna short-handled brushes for dry brushing on the website. They're always good brushes too. I just like the short handles. Getting just a little more of our gray. We got just a little bit of his head left here. Well, I guess we got the other head left too yet, but So I'm just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's just this long process, but you can see he's starting to look pretty good. And we just have a lot of color left down, or a lot of the charcoal just down in the cracks, and we have our gray and ash on the top. So he's starting to look like a gray Easter bunny. I'm kind of like, I carry the 1, 3, and 5, like those are my, kind of my go-to brushes. I do have the 8s and the 10s, I believe. I know they're at the shop. I'm not sure if they're on the website or not, but I did order more so that I can put them on the website, I think. I don't remember exactly. So, all right, I think this head needs a little bit more. It's a little bit streaky over here. You can see like there's a streak right there, so we gotta kind of even this out. I think just get a little bit more on there. And sometimes, like, so these have a lot of, there's a lot of texture on these. So instead of going back and forth, like directly across your vertical lines, if you go at a little bit of an angle, you can get your color down into the sides of those high areas to get rid of some of that, charcoal too. So just by going at a little bit of an angle across those really deep textured crevices will help with that. You can see now our like my streaks are pretty much gone there. Looks like he needs a little here. And it looks like we need a little bit up on there. So see, I'm just going at it, like they're going up and down, but I'm going at a little bit of an angle, and that just puts a little bit more color down in the crevice, but not too far into the crevice. But it lightens our fur up quite a bit. I did add everyone that had commented on the bunnies that go with these. I did add those to your invoices on Tuesday because no one came to the shop. We had snow come. And so I did get those added. So that's on all of your invoices, whoever commented. All right, so now I'm just going to come back and look at it one more time to make sure my gray looks nice and even. If it's heavy somewhere, I'll kind of get it a little bit heavier around it so it kind of blends together better. So I'm just looking at him, looking for any bad spots, any missed spots, any gobs that need equaling out. All right, so he looks pretty good, I think. So let's see what our next one is. I'm gonna take a drink, excuse me. All right, so our next color is to go with some white. We're gonna go on the pads of the feet, on the tail and inside the ears, and a little bit on the face. So I have white OS 431. I went to check on my mom's on Saturday after shopping, and on the way home I almost had myself another deer with the equinox. So I am like really over the deer. All right, so I have my white, and I'm just going to use my same brush that will just give me a nice soft white. Just work that in there a little bit. Get another one. If you want it pure white, switch to a new dry brush that's not wet with any gray in it, and you'll have a more pure white. But I want it a nice soft white, so we're going to go with I just stay with the same brush. So I want to get my face a little bit, so I'm going to brush really lightly because I don't want it real strong. I just want it to be lighter than the other fur, but not like pure white. You can see it's getting just a little bit lighter, but not really pure white. So I'm like over the deer. I did get my estimate for my truck on Tuesday. They sent a email from the insurance, and it's $15,431 damage to repair it. All right, so now we're going to do the other little face. So lots of expensive deal for a darn old deer. So let's see, what is our, not seeing any new comments on here. Okay, I guess not. So they're still out there strong, because when I stopped at my mom's yesterday, they were on the way at the end of her road. There was like 11 of them on one side of the road. Well, there was a batch of 11 when I went. They were eating in the farmer's silage sack, and then when I left, there was 4 on one side of the road, and the rest were on the other side of the road. So I went like 10 miles an hour till I got past all of them buggers. I guess it's rutting season, breeding season, so I told her, I left at 5:15. I told her I was only there a half an hour because I was at the shop packing, and it's like, I gotta go before it's dark out because I'm not hitting another deer. It would have been kind of embarrassing to have to call the insurance company and tell them I killed another deer with my other vehicle, especially after getting the quote on the first one. All right, so that's looking pretty about as white as I want those. So now we're going to do our little pads of our ears and our feet. And if you want, you could do a little bit on the eyes. I really didn't do too much over here. I didn't want him to look like a raccoon. But you could put a couple little brush strokes just to highlight them a little bit. All right, so let's get into our ears. And I'm just going to brush back and forth lightly because I don't want him to be like stark white in there. I just want to like less than those even. Just want it a little lighter so we can add a little bit of pink to them. So you just want to brush nice and light. And don't get too much on at once. So you can see that's already quite light. Hopefully you can see that compared to this one. So now we'll get this one. I was telling you guys I got pulled the trowels for next month. And I do have, like, I think there's 4 add-on trowels you guys will be able to get. I did get all of them that Donna's had. They're quite big. They're just barely going to fit in our box. They're 11.5 inches. I'm going to have to put them at an angle to put them in our box. And then they'll have holes in them for the wind chimes part. And so, like, they're almost like real size. So they're pretty cool. And they got, you guys are getting the one with the fairy, and I think the frog. And then there's one, the add-on ones, there's the turtle, and I don't remember what the other 3 are, but I do have the 4 add-on ones, so I do have all of the trolls. Now I've always liked those, so I'm really happy that I decided to get those and do them. All right, so I think we got all of those, so let's get our little paws here. And then I'll order extra wind chime parts. So if you guys want to add the wind chimes on with the trolls, you'll be able to do that too. Because I kind of bought them in bulk to get them more reasonable. So we're just highlighting our little pads here with the white. Going back and forth across that. And you can do them as much or as little as you want. And if you would prefer to have them darker, you could make them darker. Like, you can do whatever you want with your pieces, always. let's get this one done. All right, so now I want to look at them and make sure they all look pretty equal. His nose a little bit lighter than him, but like every just like people, like animals are kind of all different too. So they can be a little bit different if you want. Okay, so I think we got all, yeah, I guess we did get in there. We got all of our ears and our foot pads, our noses. So that's looking pretty good. You guys are pretty quiet tonight. All right, so we got that done. So now we're gonna put, oh, we forgot the tail, guys. We gotta get our little, Peter Cottontail's gotta have a white tail, right? So what does everybody want for bisque in the next live sale? We're kind of through Easter because Easter is like April 3rd, so you guys won't get it in time for the April box. But are you guys looking for garden stuff or animals or fall stuff, anything? So you'll have to let me know what you're interested in for the April live sale, which will be the last Sunday in March. So we got a nice white tail here. He looks like Peter Cottontail. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now, if you wanted him more white, you could put white all over. That's kind of all I did with these guys, though. I left them. I wanted them gray, but I wanted their little ears and things white, so I just didn't want them a real dark gray. All right, so we got that. Garden stuff. All right, someone let me know. Good deal. We got lots of garden stuff. All right, so now we need our pink on our everywhere's but on the ears. So which pink did we use here? Miami pink. We're going to use light pink. So we have our light pink, OS 344. Animals in Summer. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to have the Clay Magic stuff by then because they should certainly be here and dried out by then for me to get them all poured. All right, so I'm going to go to a new brush, and we just want a little brush for our, and actually, it don't have to be a little brush, it just has to have a little end. So we have our light pink, OS 444. So I'm going to brush that out really, really good. And I don't like that brush. The blue is coming on it. 4th of July. We just had I had 4th of July in the last one. I don't know that I have too much other 4th of July other than those firecrackers and those top hats. We will have the Clay Magic top hat for the Yum Yum tree with the flag on it. All right, so we're going to get some light pink on our nose. We have the, I think I have Uncle Sam bloomer. I could probably look into that. The bloomers are still in the storage units and not in the shipping containers. All right, so now we want a little bit of light pink on, I put just a little bit in the base of the ears, not too much, like I didn't want them to get real pink, so I put more down here and then just a little bit up here. Luminaries and patio candles, okay. We probably have some of that. I did have the Easter candles in the sale, but I only had 2 of them. So I'm not going all the way up the ear, I'm just doing like the little bit down here. I think I have some different like lanterns and frog luminaries and stuff like that. Shell ones, not shell, like snail ones. So I can probably look at those kind of things. So I'm just getting just a little bit on the little pads of the hands. Just brushing really lightly. And then we'll get a little bit on the pads of the feet. Just a touch. It seems like that pink went, once you seal it, like it just really pops out even more. So I try to go less, a little less on the pink than I think I actually want it to be, because it seems like it just gets a little more prominent once you seal it. So I go a little bit lighter on my pink when I'm doing that. All right, and then I put just a touch, a really light touch on his little cheekies here. Like it's barely there, but once you spray it, you can actually kind of see it. Just really light. All right, so I think we got that done. So let's see what's next. All right, so our purple bunny. Oh, and I didn't bring Dusty Violet home. I'm gonna have to do that. So we'll have to probably start with the pink bunny. Because I don't have the Dusty Violet here. That was a Mako color that they labeled with Duncan, but so that's normally not in my paint bucket. So we'll start with the pink bunny, and we're gonna go to Royal Fuchsia. All right, so we're gonna have Royal Fuchsia. So this is now a Duncan color, and it's SS 590. So you may have the softies or the Mako softies, or you may have the Duncan color. I have the Royal Fuchsia in the Mako color, so I'm going to just use that up. All right, so now I need another brush. Yeah, which one do I want? Go back to my trusty size 5 here. Just flip that over. I have our Royal Fuchsia on there. Go in there, work it into my brush. Is there instructions for the add-on bunnies? Yep, they were added to the website a couple days ago. I think I posted that. So you can add those. You'll have to like go on the website and purchase them, but I print all of the invoices off and staple it together and then pull all of your things. So yep, you can go on the website and purchase the instructions for the add-on bunnies. All right, so now we got to build up our fuchsia on our gray here, and gray kind of works like the usually I put like garnet red under the fuchsia, but I didn't with these the way it looks, because I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to be real dark. I wanted it to be more light with the Easter color, but garnet red works good under fuchsia. And so we want to be really careful so that we don't have to touch up our bunnies. And so I'm just doing like little strokes on the straps here and on the top of the bibs. And then go across wherever you can. There is a lot of flat area on this guys. Now the fuchsia does take a lot of brushing to get the fuchsia built up. So you got to be really patient. Fuchsia's like kind of like it's got a lot of red in it, so it's just one of them red colors that takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of patience, I should say. I'll just brush back and forth. And is there anything you guys are interested in for the free classes? Like I did some glass earlier in the year here. I did drilling of holes in glass and in the ceramic stuff that free Sunday. So is there anything you guys are interested in for the free classes? So getting a lot of brush marks there. I'm brushing out that paint a little bit more. We gotta remember to go to the back and do the back of our bibs. This is a size 5 again. Like if a 5 is too big for you, just go to a size 3. So, or if you like the flat ones, for some reason I'm grabbing round ones today instead of flat ones. I'm not sure why. Usually I tend to grab the flat ones. So this will take a lot of layers to get our fuchsia on here. So I think I put, if you didn't have the Dusty Violet, you could probably use, I think the Pansy is the dark one. You could probably use Pansy if you don't have the Dusty Violet. Ombre, I need to learn that technique. Okay, we've done that quite a few times. There's probably a couple videos on the YouTube page with the ombre stuff, with the gnomes with the hats. So we're going to let the back dry and come back to the front. Oh, I think the next class is actually, I have that one scheduled as a the peacock technique with the stoneware. So, but I have like a class every month, so I have the rest of the year to get figured out here too. So, but I do believe the next one is the peacock technique. And so we're just going to keep building up our fuchsia here. A little too much. And then there's like a little lip on these jeans, his little bibs, her little bibs here. So I kind of try to come around that edge just a little bit so we get a little bit of color on there. Class on how to apply mother of pearl. Well, that's a good one. Good ideas. Don't forget the strap under the ear. I got it here and here. Oh, there's one over here, isn't there? So you could switch to a smaller brush. That's kind of where I like the flat ones. I just kind of turn it on its side, but this has got a nice little point on it. It's getting kind of used, so I just use the tip of the brush. Come along that edge again and get a little bit on the edge. And if you like them, if you don't like the pink color that I went to after this one, like you can leave the fuchsia color on there too. Like that's a nice bright color. I was trying to go a little bit softer, more pastel-y. Get our little straps here. It's okay that we got the button, because I kind of got the button that color, and then the rest of the pants are the lighter pink once we get enough of the fuchsia on here. And even these bibs on top, like you kind of got to get like a little bit of that ledge there too, so you get the white off of there. Oh, wet and shiny, too much. So just keep going. I took a class last Wednesday, I think it was last Wednesday or the Wednesday before, on paper quilling, which I guess started out as clay, how they made clay into ribbons and things. So that was a lot of fun. I didn't even have time. I need to finish my piece And then I made an Easter egg with quilling inside it. I thought it would be good to learn how to do it, to do cards with it, put it on cards. So quilling is little strips of 1/4 inch or smaller paper, and you twirl it up into little balls, kind of wind it into a little ball, and then you can shape it into shapes, and then you glue it to your paper. So I thought that'd be kind of cool for cards, and I've wanted to do it for years. I've had the kit. I bought a whole bunch of stuff off of Temu to be able to do it. They have all kinds of templates and things for shaping, but someone offered it at the high school here, middle school, through the community ed, and so I just went ahead and took the class because I've been going to do it for years and haven't done it. So that was fun. It was just a 2-hour class, but I got my egg only about half done, so I have to finish my egg, and then I'll post it. They make animals and all kinds of things. I don't know if anybody's ever seen paper quilling, Quilling. And she said it started with clay, so I guess you could do it with clay too, so that might be kind of interesting. Which is kind of how I did make my beard on that one gnome that I did with the extruded coils. Wound them up into little curly cues. But I'll try to post that one day. I just got to finish it. But it is shipping time, so it's going to be a busy week. So I kind of went on the edge of that, the little bibs there too. And then we want to be careful by the little paw there, so we don't have to touch up the little paw or the little tail. Like, I'm just kind of going right alongside it and leaving a little bit of the charcoal there. And I got to keep turning them around so I can get to the different little angles, and I got to be careful not to get them in the paint. So we got to kind of come along here. And we want, again, I'm being really careful because I don't want to get the pink on the rabbit part, because then we'll have to touch it up. And sometimes you end up having to touch up anyway, even if you're careful. It just happens. I do have our Christmas room has a ton of Christmas tree bases. I kind of collected those molds because people are always looking for Christmas tree bases. So I'm going to try to get those uploaded to the website too. It seems like people are buying a lot of the marketplace or whatever Christmas trees, and then they don't have bases with them. And so I have a huge selection of bases, so I want to get those added to the website for people. And like, it doesn't matter, it can be a different mold company for your tree as long as the hole sizes match. Like, you don't have to have a Gare base for a Gare tree. Like, as long as the top on that mold, the base, as long as the top of the base fits into your tree, like it'll work. And even if say you have a tree where the base is a little bit bigger than your tree, you could always take the Dremel and drill out your tree a little bit to fit a base. Because a lot of times we can't get those old molds for some of those trees because they don't make them anymore. And if you haven't come across them in a mold dig, like you probably don't have them. But we have a ton of different tree bases, so I want to get those onto the webpage for people. All right, so this is getting a little wet and sticky there, so I have to just let that. It's getting to be like what they call a hot spot, because like I had too much paint in my brush, and so now it's like wet. So we got to let that one just alone and let it just dry really well. All right, so we're just going to come back to the front. So I have an unending list of things to do. I was able to finish Courtney's book like a week ago Sunday. And that was really, really good. I don't know if anyone has finished reading it or not, but she's quite the writer. I'm quite impressed with my daughter. She's a wonderful person. Did a wonderful job on her book. Can't wait to read the next one. So hopefully, she's hoping to get it out by July. So I hope she does, like a Christmas in July thing. So, and I know she's working on, some of you guys wanted it signed. I know she's working on that. Something about book plates that she can send to you, and you can put it in your book. But I know she's been busy working too. So I don't think she's got it finished. But it's something she has to design and get made, and so maybe when the April box ships, maybe she'll have it ready by then, because I do know she's working on that, because some of you guys asked for your books to be signed. So, all right, so it's looking pretty good, but it still has a lot of gray coming through it, and so we're gonna just keep building up here. Takes a lot of patience with the fuchsia. You almost want to paint it, but we really don't want to paint it, because then we'll lose all of our shading. So now I did get some pink on my rabbit, but that's okay. We can go back and touch that up when we're done. You could put the book on your website. Yeah, I probably can't, because like she does, Amazon is actually the one, like she did her own publishing of everything, like she did everything, and so Amazon actually makes the book for her and then sends it out to people that purchase it. And so, I mean, I'd have to order them, like I'd have to pay for them, and then they'd have to be another price. Like it probably wouldn't work at this point. But that's certainly an option down the road if she would want to do that. It's like when you how to explain it, like Amazon actually makes the book when they're ordered, so it's a pretty cool thing. But like she's actually the publisher of it, because she's not paying a publishing company to do all the things that she did to be able to have Amazon print it and make it. And I know she wants to get the audio too, but like it costs a lot of money to hire, because you have to hire to have that done. So I know that's on her list to do. And if you knew what she made for one book, it's pathetic. So, but that's how it is. And hopefully she says it's a marathon. It's a long haul. It's not a sprint. It's not a fast race. It's a be patient and build it up kind of a thing. And so she's got it all figured out. But I know she's working on that signature thing, and then that'll be able to ship in the bisque box for you guys that want that. So I know she has a Facebook page, Adele Louise Author is that page. And I wouldn't doubt that she ends up with having a web page or something like I have mine for selling the bisque and stuff. So we got to kind of let that sit there, because that's kind of wet yet. It doesn't want to take it yet. So, but she's busy working too, so it just all takes a lot of time. Everything takes time. Anybody that can write is amazing to me. I'm amazing nurse when I write it all. It's in a bulleted fashion. Yeah. I don't know. She's just very descriptive, and it was just an enjoyable book to sit down and read. So, all right, so that looks pretty good, although we got this little spot back here that I'm going to have to touch up later. I think we can probably start with our next color, which is Miami Pink. Where are you, Miami Pink? We got to shake you up because we hardly ever use you. So we have Miami Pink OS 558. Now if you like it the fuchsia, you can leave it the fuchsia and just highlight it a little bit with the Miami Pink. I'm going to use my same brush. I need another piece of paper towel. I'm just going to use my same brush, kind of work it in there and brush back and forth. And we're only going to work on the front because of that spot back there, but it's already 20 after, so that's okay. So we're just going to start real light. We don't have to get the buttons because I did let the buttons, well actually we probably have to get them to get the little strap around it, but then the buttons I did do in fuchsia. And I just went back and painted them the fuchsia. So we'll just kind of work on the front and then we'll probably be at 8:30. So I'll be actually, hopefully I get to see Courtney tomorrow. We have to go to my mom and dad's and go into 40 acres of swamp with the surveyor to get the surveying stakes put in. And he couldn't do it last fall when he did the rest of it because it's too wet and mucky in there. And then it's like full of mosquitoes, like it's like going into the rainforest in the middle of nowhere. It's a cedar swamp with water and lots of brush and trees. So we actually have to go and do that tomorrow. So she says she's coming, so we'll see if she is going to endeavor that adventure. So I'm just brushing really, really lightly with Miami Pink. You can make these as light pink as you want or leave them more with the Royal Fuchsia. The one I did is very, very light, but I'm actually kind of liking this darker color this time. So like you can do whatever you like, but it's going to take, like it takes a lot of brushing to get to the light color. So we just keep brushing lightly and building it up. We're going to get those lines, crevices going up and down, so I'm going to cross them. And we'll get them nice and light. I think we're supposed to get snow again next week, although it's supposed to be like 40 tomorrow, so it's it won't be so bad going into the swamp. It won't be so cold because like it's a lot of shade with all the trees, so it's normally pretty cold in there too. My dad always loved going in there this time of the year because once it started warming up, because it was still frozen, but like the air was a little bit warmer, and he'd pull dead trees and things out and make them into either firewood, or he would cut them up into lumber. Like he built a sawmill, so he would cut them into lumber too. He always loved going into the swamp this time of the year. We're just going to keep brushing on here and get it lighter and lighter and lighter. And then the little tulips and things, I just used a liner to paint those. Oh, that was nothing fancy, so we'll be able to do that too. It doesn't matter if you brush back and forth, or forwards or backwards, or back and forth. Like I kind of switched around the way I'm brushing. Just make sure you don't have too much paint in that brush, because then you get too much paint like I just did. You want it to go on nice and soft. gonna set him down because then I can get a little more pressure on there. I like it darker. I kind of like it the darker one too, but I kind of made them both. I kind of had pastel on my mind when I was doing it. I'm kind of liking it right, almost where it is right now, just a little bit more even. It's just a little bit, it's still pretty dark though. So, but you can definitely do whatever color you like. And I just did pink and purple, like for a boy and a girl. Like you don't even have to do that. You could do yellow and like yellow and a green would be really cool too. Any colors really. They're just really cute bunnies. I think I put these on the website too. I know there were some in the sale. I'll have to check if I put them on the website because I probably have a couple we can put on the website yet. Yeah, that royal fuchsia is kind of, I like the royal fuchsia. I mean, you guys see that our stickers are with kind of the bright pink. I like the bright pink. I like that with the lime green even. Tomorrow I'll be firing a glaze load, so we will probably have a glaze reveal on Saturday morning if it's cool. It should be cool enough because I should be able to start it early tomorrow. I have a couple Christmas trees are going in there, some snails for two snails and a turtle for 4-H projects, for sample classes. Well, someone came last Saturday, you guys. You gotta watch for this when I do the kiln reveal on Saturday. She did one of the big pigs and she did it with crystal glazes. So she did it with bubble gum, which is all blues, I believe, and then strawberry sundae. So it's going to be like a pink and blue pig. I told her she's going to have to put wings on it when she's done with it. So I think at first it was like, it seemed really weird. Like, do you want it like a real pig or how do you want it? Well, I like these crystal glazes, so I want crystal glazes. So I had to show her the real pig outside because she didn't know what that was going to look out like the black and white one that I did. And then she ended up picking the crystal glazes, the strawberry sundae, which is a really dark pink, and then the bubble gum, which is blue. So I can't wait to see that on Saturday morning. So you guys will have to watch for that when I post that. It'll be the first crystal glazed pig that I know of, but it's pretty cool. So, all right, I want to get on the edge of this cuff here too, because like the light would be hitting that. So I think we're at a pretty good stopping point, but it does need more pink to get it lighter, and then we do have to do the back, and then I will grab some dusty violet for our other one. I'm kind of liking this color though where it's at. It's a lot lighter than the other one, but I do like it. We can make them different, what the heck, right? And we'll work on the back next time. So this is what it looks like. So there's quite a bit of difference, if you can see that. But I kind of like the little bit brighter color. All right, and then I do have our pieces that I'm shipping to you guys next week. So that will be our wreath accents, and the bunnies really match the current bunnies. Okay. Whoop. And I'm just going to put mine on the deco mesh wreath that I have. I did this in the silver. So we have a white bunny because you guys wanted different colors of bunnies. We have a dark gray bunny, a medium, and a light gray bunny. And then we have a darker brown and a medium brown. So, and then there are wires on the back of these, and that will be to anchor that to your wreath because there was no place to put holes on these to put anything through. So I did put 2 wires in these to anchor to your wreath. So hopefully that makes it a lot easier. And then these, there's just a whole bunch of holes all the way around it. So there should be plenty of holes to anchor it. But that is our bunnies. I did put gloss sealer on the eyes and a little bit on the nose. So that is your piece that I am I invoiced for you on Wednesday, and it's a short month, so it'll be due on Sunday, I believe. And then Monday I will be packing and shipping to you guys. Pickup will probably be Thursday and Friday. And then there's a lot of you guys got add-on stuff, so it'll be a busy week of shipping. I'll probably have to have another pickup on Monday as well, the following Monday. So, and hopefully that will be all of it. If anybody has any questions, like always, you guys can message me. Does anybody have any questions tonight yet? This would look cute on a straw wreath too, so you wouldn't have to have the wire deco mesh one. So when I get time, I will get it on the deco mesh blue one, and I'll post a picture of it too. But you can see it's a lot lighter than the picture that I posted with the paint colors. So otherwise, I think that's it, you guys. We're at 8:30 and we're at a good stopping point, and I gotta go. I made slip earlier, and I got the kiln firing, and I started making poppy seed torte that didn't get thick enough by 7, so I had to shut it off, and I gotta go finish that up. So I think that's about it, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight, and message me with your questions, and I will try to get our videos uploaded to YouTube. Otherwise, they will be on Facebook for 30 days, and then they do delete them. So thank you, everyone, and good night. Have a great week.